So, hi guys, it's Tuesday afternoon and this will be my last video for today. I'm starting to catch up and I am loving this setup now. I'm very impressed. I hope you're liking it too. Let me know which one you prefer, the book or the library with me in it. I prefer the book, it's easier for me. Okay, so we're starting off with Mateo at 2:02 a.m. I don't know how many last friend accounts are active in the world, but there are currently 42 online in New York City alone, and staring down these users feels a lot like being in my high school auditorium on the first day of classes. There's all this pressure, and I don't know where to start until I receive a message. There's a bright blue envelope in my inbox and it glows in pulses, waiting to be clicked open. There's no subject line, just some basic information. Wendy Mae Green, 19 years old, female, Manhattan, New York, 2 miles away. I click her profile. She isn't a decker. She's just a girl who's up late looking to console one. In her bio, she's self-described bookworm obsessed with all things Scorpius Hawthorne, and this common link is probably why she's reaching out. She also likes walking around too, especially in late May when the weather is perfect. I won't be around for late May. Wendy Mae. I wonder how long she's had this profile. Sorry, lost me book. This profile, and if anyone's told her that speaking about future like that might offend some deckers, how it might be mistaken as showing off just how much life she still has left to live. I move past it and click her photo. She seems nice, light skin, brown eyes, brown hair, a nose piercing and a big smile. I open the message. Wendy Mae G, 2:02 a.m. Hi Mateo. You have great taste in books. Bet you're wishing you had a death cloaking spell, huh? I'm sure she means well, but between her bio and this message, she's hammering me with nails instead of giving me the pat on the back I was hoping for. I won't be rude though. Mateo T, 2:03 a.m. Hey, Wendy Mae, thanks. You have great taste in books too. Wendy Mae G, Scorpius Hawthorne for life. How are you doing? Mateo T, 2:03 a.m. Not great. I don't want to leave my room, but I know I have to get out of here. Wendy Mae G, 2:03 a.m. What was the call like? Were you scared? Mateo T, 2:04 a.m. I freaked out a little bit. A lot of bit, actually. Wendy Mae G, 2:04 a.m. Lol, you're funny and really cute. Your mum and dad must be losing their heads. Too right. Mateo, 2:05 a.m. I don't mean to be rude, but I have to go now. Have a nice night, Wendy Mae. Wendy Mae G, 2:05 a.m. What did I say? Why do you dead guys always stop talking to me? Mateo T, 2:05 a.m. It's no big deal really. It's just hard for my parents to lose their heads when my mum's out of the picture and my dad is in a coma. Wendy Mae G, 2:05 a.m. How was I supposed to know that? Mateo T, 2:05 a.m. It's in my profile. Wendy Mae G, 2:05 a.m. Fine, whatever. Do you have an open house then? I'm supposed to lose my virginity to my boyfriend, but I want to practice first, and maybe you can help me out. I click out while she's typing another message, and I block her for good measure. I get her insecurities, I guess, and I feel bad for her and her boyfriend if she manages to cheat on him, but I'm not some miracle worker. I receive some more messages with these subject lines. Subject 420. Kevin and Kelly, 21 years old, male, Bronx, New York, 4 miles away. Decker, no. Subject, my condolences, Mateo, great name. Philly Boozier, 24 years old, male, Manhattan, New York Times, 3 miles away. Decker, no. Subject, you selling a couch, good condition? J Mark, 26 years old, male, Manhattan, New York, 1 mile away. Decker, no. Subject, dying sucks, huh? Ellie R, 20 years old, female, Manhattan, New York, 3 miles away. Decker, yes. I ignore Kevin and Kelly's message, not interested in pot. I delete J Mark's message because I'm not selling the couch. Dad will need again for his weekend naps. I'm going to answer Philly's message because it came first. Philly B, 2:06 a.m. Hey, Mateo, how's it going? Mateo T, hey Philly, it's too lame to say I'm hanging in there. Philly B, 2:08 a.m. Nah, I'm sure it's rough. Not looking forward to the day Deathcast calls me. Are you sick or something? Pretty young to be dying. Mateo T, 2:09am. I'm healthy, yeah. I'm terrified of how it's going to happen, but I'm nervous I'll somehow disappoint myself if I don't get out of here. There. I definitely don't want to stink up the apartment by dying in here. Philly B, 2:09am. I can help with that, Mateo. Mateo T, 2:09am. Help with what? Philly B, 2:09am. Making sure you don't die. Mateo T, 2:09am. That's not a thing anyone can promise. Philly B, 2:10am. I can. You seem like a cool guy who doesn't deserve to die, so you should come over to my apartment. I'll have to be secret though. I have the cure to death in my pants. I block Philly and open up Ellie's message. Maybe the third time will be the charm. Rufus, 2:21am. Amy gets in my face and pushes me against the fridge. She doesn't play when it comes to violence because her parents got real extra when they tagged team robbed a convenience store. Assaulting the owner and his 20-year-old son. Shoving me around isn't going to get her locked up like them though. Look at him, Rufus. What the fuck were you thinking? I refuse to look at Peck, who's leaning against the kitchen counter. I already saw the damage I did when he walked in. One eye shut, a cut on his lips, spots of dry blood on his swollen forehead. Jen Laurie is right next to him, pressing ice against his forehead. I can't look at her either. She's so disappointed in me. End day or not, Tago and Malcolm flank me. Quiet too since she and Francis already gave them shit for hitting the streets with me in way past bedtime to rough Peck up. Not feeling so brave now, right? Peck gasps. Shut up. Amy whips around, slamming her phone against the counter, startling everyone. Don't follow us. She pushes open the kitchen door and Francis is not so casually hanging out by the staircase, trying to stay in the know but also keep back so he doesn't have to shame or punish a Decker. Amy drags me into the living room by my wrist. So what? Deathcast calls and you're so free to lay into so you're free to lay into whoever the fuck you want. I guess Peck didn't tell her I was beating his ass before I got the alert. What? There's no point lying. I was coming for him. Amy takes a step back, like I'm some monster who might lash out to her next, which kills me. Look, Ames, I was freaking out. I already felt like I didn't have a future before Deathcast dropped that grenade in my lap. My grades have always been shit. I'm almost 18. I lost you and I was wilding out because I didn't know what I was going to do. I felt like I straight up nobody, and Peck pretty much said the same damn thing. You're not a nobody, Amy says, shaking a little as she comes towards me. No longer scared, she takes my hand and we sit on the couch where she's told me she was leaving Pluto because her aunt on her mum's side had enough dough to take her in. A minute later, she also broke up with me because she wanted a clean slate. Some cheap-ass tip from her elementary school classmate, Peck. We didn't make sense anymore, and there's no point about lying. Like you said, even on your last day, she holds my hand while she cries, which I was doubting she'd even do because she was so pissed when she got here. I read our love wrong, but it doesn't mean I don't love you. You were there for me when I needed to act out and be angry, and you made me happy when I was tired of hating everything. Nobody can make someone feel all of that. She hugs me, resting her chin on my shoulder, the same way she would relax on my chest whenever she was about to watch one of her historical documentaries. I hold her because I don't have anything new to say. I want to kiss her, but I don't need some fakeness from her. She's mad close though, and I pull back so I can see her face, because maybe one last kiss might be real for her too. She's staring at me and I lean in. Tago comes into the living room and covers his eyes. Oh, sorry, I back up. Nah, you good. We should, do the funeral, Tago says. But take your time, it's your day. Sorry, it's not your day. It's not like a birthday, it's the opposite. He twitches. I'm going to get everyone in here, he steps. I don't want to hog you, Amy says. She doesn't let me go until everyone comes in. Oops. I needed that hug. I'm looking forward to hugging the Plutos for the final time. Pluto Solo System group hug after the funeral. I stay seated in the centre of the couch. I'm battling my lungs for my next breath. Hardcore. Malcolm sits to my left, Amy to my right, and Tago at my feet. Peck keeps his distance, playing around on Amy's phone. I hate that he's on a phone, but I broke his, so I've got to stay shut. This is my first Decker funeral, since my family didn't care about throwing one for themselves because we all had each other and didn't need anyone else. Not co-workers or old friends. Maybe if I'd gone to others, I'd be ready for the way Jen Laurie speaks directly to me and not to the other attendees. It makes me feel vulnerable and seen, and it gets me teary-eyed like when someone sings happy birthday to me. Seriously, every year it never fails. Failed. You never cried, even though you had every reason to, like you were trying to prove something. The others, Jen Laurie doesn't turn to the Plutos, not even a little. She doesn't break eye contact, like we're in a staring contest. Respect. They're all cried, but your eyes are so sad, Rufus. You didn't look at any of us for a couple of days. I was convinced if someone posed as me, you wouldn't have known any better. Your hollowness was heavy until you found friends and more. I turned, and Amy won't take her eyes off me, and the same sad look she gave me when she broke up with me. I always felt good when you were all together, Francis says. He's not talking about tonight, I know that dying sucks, I bet, but getting locked up in prison while life keeps going on without you has got to be worse. Francis keeps staring, but doesn't say anything else. We don't have all day. He waves Malcolm over. Your turn. Malcolm steps to the centre of the room, his hunched back to the kitchen. He clears his throat, and it's harsh, like he's got something stuck in his pipes, and some spit flies out of his mouth. He's always been a mess, the kind of dude who will unintentionally embarrass you because he has bad table manners and no filter. But he can also tutor you in algebra and keep a secret. And that's the stuff I would talk about if I were given his eulogy. You are a bro, Roof. This is bullshit. Total fucking bullshit. His head hangs low as he picks at the cuticles of his left hand. They should take me instead. Don't say that. Seriously, shut up. I'm serious, he says. I know no one's living forever, but you should live longer than others. You matter more than other people. That's lice. I'm just this big nothing who can't keep a job bagging groceries, and you're dying, I interrupt, standing. I'm heated and I punch him. Mad hard in the arm, not saying sorry either. I'm dying and we can't trade lives. You're not a big nothing, but you can step your damn game up anyway. Tago stands massaging his neck, beating back a twitch. Roof, I'll miss you shutting us up like this. You stop me from assassinating Malcolm whenever he eats off our plates and doesn't flush twice. I was ready to see your damn mug until we were old. Tago takes off his glasses, wiping his tears with the back of his hand, and closes it into a tight fist. He looks up like he's waiting for some death pinata to drop from the ceiling. You're supposed to be a lifer. No one says anything, they just cry harder. The sound of everyone grieving me before I've gone, it gives me crazy chills. I want to console them and stuff, but I can't snap out of my daze. I spent a lot of time feeling guilty for living after I lost my family, but now I can't beat this weird deck of guilt for dying, knowing I'm leaving this crew behind. Amy steps to the centre, and we all know this is about to get mad, real brutal. Is it lame to say I think I'm stuck in a nightmare? I always thought everyone was being so dramatic when they said that this feels like a nightmare. Like really, that's all you feel when tragedy happens. I don't know how I wanted them to feel, but I can say now they hit the nail on the head. There's another cliche for you. Whatever. I want to wake up, and if I can't wake up, I want to go to sleep forever. Where there's a chance, I dream everything beautiful about you. Like you looked at me for me and not because you wanted to gawk at this fuckery on my face. Amy touches her heart, choking on her next words. It hurts so much, Rufus, to think that you won't be around for me to call or hug. She stops looking at me. She's squinting at something behind me and her hand drops. Did someone call the police? I jump out of my seat and see the flashes of red and blue in front of the duplex. I'm in full-on panic mode that feels insanely brief and mad long like 8 forevers. There's only one person who isn't surprised or freaking out. I turn to Amy and her eyes follow mine back to Peck. You didn't, Amy says, charging towards him. She snatches her phone from him. He assaulted me, Peck shouts. I don't care if he's on his way out. He's not expired meat. He's another human being, Amy shouts. Holy shit, I don't know how Peck did it because he hasn't made any calls here, but he's got the cops on me in my own funeral. I hope Deathcast calls that bastard in the next few minutes. Go at the back, Tago says. Twitch is running wild. You have to come with me, you guys. We're there. We'll slow them down, Malcolm says. Talk them out of it. There's a knock at the door. On the door. Jen Laurie points to the kitchen. Go! I grab my helmet, walking backwards toward the kitchen, taking in all them Plutos. My pops once said goodbyes are the most impossible, impossible, because you never want to say them. But you'd be stupid not to when given the shot. I'm getting cheated out of mine because the wrong person showed up at my funeral. I shake my head and run out the back, catching my breath. I rush through the backyard. We all hate it because of relentless mosquitoes and fruit flies, then hop the fence. I sneak back around to the front of the house to see if there's a chance I can grab my bike before having to book it at my feet. The cop car is parked outside, but both officers must be inside, maybe even in the backyard by now if Peck snitched. I grab my bike and run with it down the sidewalk, hopping onto the seat once I get enough momentum. I don't know where I'm going, but I keep going. I lived through my funeral, but I wish I was already dead.